Megan Lee, and welcome to the Noob Reviews. This is Manga Mondays. Maybe. It works. So I've had a few requests, not a lot, but a few more since I've joined Weebs and Waifus of manga reviews. So I've been wanting to get into manga for a while, but I didn't know where to start, and I just didn't do it. But I was at the comic book store this past Saturday, and I was looking for some other comic books I didn't have. So then I thought, well, I just dropped my book. I want to buy something because I'm like that. And I went to the manga section, and they had Demon Slayer. I'm sorry. Demon Slayer. Forgive me. I think I killed it. I don't know. Sorry. So, Demon Slayer. Yes, and I recognize Demon Slayer because I did a couple reaction videos to the opening song, the opening theme for season 1. Right? So I did a couple, 3 different reactions to that song, actually. Yeah. It's an incredible song. I need to learn to play it on the piano. So I totally recognize, because of that, I recognize this. And nothing else in that section really stood out to me. This and Witch Hat Atelier, correct me, were recommended. But they just had, my comic book store just had this one. So, yeah. I really should have gotten the first 3 because once I started reading this, I could not stop. And I made myself stop at chapter 2 because I was like, I have other things to read and I have other things to do. I can't just, sit here and read forever. I mean, I could. But, I gotta be an adult, and do adult things. So, yeah. This was fun. It was a little different to get used to reading, back to front, right to left. I thought it was really cute that there's, directions on how to read it in what would be the front for us Western European people. But, yeah. That was kind of cute to me. So I read the first 2 chapters. The first one is called Cruelty. And in this chapter, I met Tanjiro. He met his family, his sister Nezuko, just everybody. And basically obviously his dad's not around, and he is the man of the house. He's got to take care of everybody, and he's going into town to sell some coal. And he leaves his siblings behind. They can't come with him because they're his brothers want to come, but he's walking in, and they got shorter legs and are gonna get tired and whatever. So he goes into town, and we just get insight into his character. Everybody in the town is super excited to see him, and they want to buy coal from him. They want to help him out, but it sounds like he also helps a lot of people out too. He's fixed somebody's door, and they're saying you're just such a hard worker. And then also, I found out something interesting about Tanjiro, which is he has this crazy sense of smell. And apparently everybody's very aware of this. And so some boy is being blamed for breaking a plate. And he says, Tanjiro, I didn't do it. Come smell the plate. And I was like, what is happening? Smell a plate? What? So I read on, and he says, I smell a cat. So the cat has broken the plate. And I was like, oh, okay. That's kind of weird, but okay. He's got a very strong sense of smell. Interesting. Just an interesting tidbit about Tanjiro. And obviously that comes into play throughout the story. He's going to go home, but it's dark. And so this older gentleman says, oh, you can't go out. There's demons in the woods. You need to stay at my house. You can't go walking through the woods alone. And his family lives in the woods or on the other side of the woods. Right. And he goes, well, can't demons get in a house? And the guy says, well, yes, but the demon slayers will cut them down. So he just goes to sleep peacefully in this old man's house. And I was like, oh, okay. Here it comes. Right? Here it comes. And it came. He kept also talking about how things change. Life is like the weather. It won't always be easy. Life is not really easy for them. But he keeps saying this quote, when happiness ends, there's always a smell of blood in the air. And he said that once in the beginning, like 2 pages in, and then he says it the next morning on his way home. He says that his grandmother said the same thing before she died. When happiness ends, there's always a smell of blood in the air. So it's a little dark and, a little bit of a hint of what's to come. Yeah, we get into things fairly quickly. Like, there's 12 books? I think I saw 12. I could be wrong, correct me. I mean, in the double digits, I think. But in spite of there being so many issues, we get into things in the first, 7 to 10 pages. When he comes across to his house and he comes across his family, and they've just been brutally, you guys all know this, but they've been brutally murdered by someone or something. And the only thing is, obviously they smell strange there to him, but the only one left alive is his sister. And so he puts her on his back and he treks through the woods, and he's about to find a doctor when she turns into this. Yikes. I accidentally pressed the stop button when my book landed on the mouse. Okay. Yeah. So she is turned into a demon. And so he had smelled a strange creature. It wasn't an animal smell. It wasn't a human smell. So it was obviously demon that he was smelling. And his sister is turned into this demon that is very much like what we call vampires here. Drink blood, eat flesh kind of thing. And he has to hold his sister off because she starts to attack him. And he goes how can she be a demon? He's thinking about what the old man says as he's holding his sister off and going how can she be a demon? She's always been a human. And I guess if a human gets bitten, well, we'll come to that. Nezuko smells of blood and death. And also, I guess when you become a demon, you grow really fast and you get really strong. And basically he's about to die from his sister when this mysterious dude comes up and saves him. And he is telling his sister to fight it. And interestingly, her eyes are all crazy demon possessed type eyes, right? And as he's telling her to fight it, there's this quick change when she looks human, in her eyes, just slightly again. But it's she can't fight it. And this dude comes in and saves Tanjiro. He's the demon slayer. He has a katana. That's what they call their swords, I guess. Yes. A Kimisatsu, destroyer of demons. Is that what his sword says? It's a small print here. A Kimisatsu, destroyer of demons. Is that what's written? Are they saying that that's what's written on his, the hilt of his sword, his katana, or? Please explain, somebody. I'm lost slightly. So this demon slayer is gonna go kill his sister, and he talks him out of it. There was a scent. He says somebody else. He's somebody made her. Well, he's saying, okay, she can't be a demon. Nezuko wouldn't have eaten somebody. She didn't eat anybody at his house because when he rescued her, she didn't have blood on her face and she wasn't a demon yet. Right? She was probably maybe half dead. And then as he was carrying her through the woods, she transformed into the demon. So it wasn't her that killed his family, and he knows it because he can smell it. Because he's got this strange sense of smell. The funny thing is, this guy that he's just met in the woods, this demon slayer, is like, oh, okay, you can smell something different. He was kind of accepting of that. And in this world, is it normal to have a very strong sense of smell? Mosquito. Anyway, that's my question. I don't know. So man-eating demons multiply if blood gets in a wound. So not if you're bitten, but if blood from the demon gets in their wound. Demon blood got in her wound. So she transformed into a demon. That is how man-eating demons multiply. Mm-hmm. So Nezuko is all going crazy. Tanjiro is trying to keep this dude from killing her. He begs him. And this was an interesting little scene that happens. He's begging and begging this demon slayer not to kill his sister. And this demon slayer gets really angry with him. Like, yells at him, never leave yourself so defenseless in front of an enemy. Stop bowing so pitifully. If that worked, your family would still be alive. Like, whoa, so harsh. Like, his family just died and his sister's a demon. He has nobody left. It's just like, but this demon slayer is all, you need to get your shit together because you actually have no choice. And if you want changes to be made, like, you don't even have time to mourn right now. You need to fight and you need to just keep going strong because you don't have time for this. You don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. Yeah. If you want something, you must fight for it. Wow. Demons might know how to cure your little sister. No demon will respect your whining and begging. The meek have no power and no options. The strong will crush them in every way. Those are powerful words. I like it. Anyway, he says, I know your pain. Don't despair. But fill your heart with anger and let that drive you to find the cure for your sister and to get through this. Demon Slayer dude thinks he's kind of a fool. He kind of knocks him out, talks sense into him. Tanjiro fights back and shows this Demon Slayer that he is worthy of keeping his sister from harming anybody and of finding the cure for her. And the Demon Slayer is impressed. He lets them go. Nezuko takes her sister. Tanjiro takes his sister Nezuko. And he kind of gives her this weird gag thingy. I'm assuming it's like it's like a piece of bamboo. So that she can't bite him. Or anybody. And off they go. This Demon Slayer says, go see an old man named Sakanji Rokodaki. Forgive me. Who lives at the foot of Mount Sagiri. Tell him that Giyu Tomioka sent you. I am so sorry I butchered all of those names. He says, your sister should be fine because the sun isn't out today, but don't let her into direct sunlight. And then he's gone. And he goes and buries his family, and he takes his sister, and they run into the woods towards the mountain. And that was chapter 1. And at the Comic Cons, I've been seeing this, like cosplays of Nezuki. I'm sorry, I might be saying that wrong too. So it's kind of cool now to like put the story to these characters that I have been seeing. This is kind of fun. Yeah, I really liked that. Yeah, I think we'll leave it here. I need to reread chapter 2. I have a really bad habit of when I'm really into something, I will just read and read, but I speed read and I miss stuff. And before I sat down to do this review, I actually kind of reread it again. I was like, oh, I missed that. And I missed that. Yeah, just some conversational bits that I missed. So yes, I'm going to stop here. at chapter 2, and I really love this art. This is some great art. Story and art by Koyoharu. I cannot say it. I'm not even going to try and say his last name. But I'm loving this so much. There are actually a couple people, Daniel and somebody else recommended this to me, and thank you very much. I am enjoying myself, and I'll find Witch Hat Atelier. And yeah, I'll start reviewing that too. This is going to be a lot of fun.